Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Subscriber Dynasty. We are resetting, starting all over, so we're going to start over with a new coach. Welcome Reggie Gundy. He's from Duke. He's graduated from Duke. He's looking for a head coaching job, and he's got one. As of right now, we have the offensive playbook set to pro. I will change that after I select my team. I just don't want to give it away quite yet. And then defensive style, I think I'm going to go 3-4 multiple. I don't run a lot of 3-4. I tend to run 4-3 across the board any football game. But I'm going to try 3-4 this year and see. You know what? I'm actually going to run the pro style playbook. I'm not going to switch it. Typically, I run the team that I currently am. I run that playbook, but I want to run the pro style. I want to mix it up a little bit because I've been running a ton of shotgun and read option, and then in my offline run the wishbone, so a lot of option there also. So I want to go a little pro style now. I want to mix it up, something new for me, and see what we got. So we're gonna hit continue and move on to the next step. Alright, so I just went through, changed all the custom conferences, move people around, bowl tie-ins, rules, and difficulties. Let's look at the bowl tie-ins real quick. I looked up online to see what it was going to be the most accurate. Essentially, I removed the American from an automatic bowl bid because they don't have that anymore. And it said to move the Big 12 champion to the All-State Sugar Bowl. Now, it didn't say anything about changing the SEC champion, so I'm going to leave it and just assume that they play each other, because I don't know off the top of my head, and it's already late enough as it is. I spent way too much time doing that. But that's what we got there. I changed all the conferences to have night games in November, weekday games to any, and all conferences start in week 1. That way we could potentially have more of a variety towards the end of the season as far as scheduling user games and stuff like that. Now for the conferences, I made it as close to realistic as possible, with the exception of a couple of teams like Charlotte and all that. So the ACC is set up correctly now. The American is set up correctly. Big 12, Big 10, Conference USA, I think UAB is an iffy. Without having team builder teams in there. Same thing with some of the independents. I think the MAC is about right. And as far as I know, everything is good to go. I checked online, so hopefully we're set up, ready to roll as far as that goes. And then the rules and difficulty, I tried to set it up basically how it was before. We do not allow existing coaches. We want everybody to start off at a base level of 5, so you're screwed if you want to use an existing coach. And we do allow the end of season skill tree reset. Typically we just skip past that because nobody else is on. But that is an option, so it's there. Everybody's going to start at level 5, so hopefully this will prevent the issue where people weren't getting any coach XP. They were stuck at level 1 regardless. So I'm starting everybody off at level 5. And we will move on from there. Coach progression rate set to normal. Custom playbooks, I am going to allow that because I know a ton of people use them. I don't. But that's each their own. No auto-generate names. I have a custom roster and hopefully it loads. And no time savers, so no cheating. I mean, no taking advantage of those things you paid for. Now, in 12 members, it is a private dynasty. Gameplay options. Everything's on Heisman. Quarter length 7 minutes. I did change the game speed to fast. That means it's going to be... the players are going to move a lot quicker, which is going to be weird. Now, player minimum speed threshold, it said to set it to 0 and game speed of very fast, but I'm going to go with fast and 15 just to give people an idea. Plus, what we're doing is going to be a lot more difficult. So, hopefully we can get a couple more users losing games to the computer and not just users. The game rules, I set these up just exactly how I'm fairly positive the rules and the AI setup is exactly how it was previously, but this is what we are set up to now. This is the blue set, Jared's blue set. If you look on operationsports.com forums, this is exactly what he has set up. So I went with the blue set because that's what everybody tended to like. Nobody likes the black set. I'm saving that one for myself in the offline. That's the users, and then the CPU is a little bit better, but that's just how we have it set up for right now. So we are done. Let's begin this dynasty. Be right back. Alright, now as the commissioner, I can restrict which jobs are available to all new coaches. Your first job could be a head coach. Max team prestige, it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with it this time. It's all fine and dandy. It's not going to differentiate between what schools you pick. There is a catch, and I'll explain that here in a minute. Allow existing coaches no starting level 5, progression speed normal, and reset skill trees. Yes, so advanced. Alright, I get to choose my job. Now, the situation for the reset is you could be any team you want, star-wise, it doesn't matter, but you must be in a group of 5 conference. No Power 5 conferences at all. So no ACC, no Big 10, no Big 12, no SEC, and no Pac-12. So you have a very limited option. You have the American, you have Conference USA, no independents because that doesn't count. You could choose MAC, Mountain West, or Sun Belt. That's all. Very limited on the teams. Some of the teams could be really good. Like looking at the American, Cincinnati's not a bad team. Houston, they were a really good team this year. Same thing with Memphis. So there's a lot of good options to choose from. But I wanted it to be a little bit more difficult on us. The recruiting's going to be a lot harder because we're not going to have the power conferences like advantage being in a good conference. We're going to have to build the teams up. I like that idea. The Italian liked that idea. The guys I talked to before I let everybody know, I thoroughly enjoyed the idea. And now everybody think I'm going to pick the Huskies. I'm actually not. I've done them way too many times. So it's just, and then once I told everybody, everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. So this is the rules. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give some of these smaller schools some love and see what we got. I'm actually going to go to the Mountain West. Kind of a surprise there, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to go Boise State because I'm going to play against them more than enough. I'm actually going to go Fresno State. I did a lot of research as far as the group of 5 schools. Having being in charge of it, I had the advantage of knowing what the idea was. I like their location. I like their uniforms. The uniforms played a huge factor. And I dig the colors, man. I dig the school. I dig everything about it. So Fresno State Bulldogs, new head coach. Let's get this bad boy started. Alright, what do I have to do? I have to get at least 8 wins a year. I don't know how possible that's going to be, because in 2012 they were Mountain West champs, but we're going to do our best. Sign that contract. Get it rolling, baby. Oh, yeah. Alright, select my coach skill tree. I'm not going to do any game management. I played with that before the reset, and that's all garbage. All garbage. The only thing that's potentially worth anything is Coach Adamas, and I ain't going to waste my time. So, right off the bat, bam, bam, bam. Scouting unlocked. Then I got 2 more upgrades. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and bust them both to that. Now, everybody's going to get the same 5 points. They can put them however they want. This is how I'm particularly going to do mine. And then as I get upgrades, I'll probably do the closer for the second half of the season, and then move around from there. As far as my defensive coordinators, I typically like to do, power move and block shedding. I'm actually going to do block shedding so people can get off their blocks quicker, because that is a huge factor playing against users and the computer trying to get off the block. And for offense, everybody probably goes up tempo, which is nice, but I'm actually going to go carrying. I want to make sure my guys don't fumble the ball. That's my typically go-to. So this is how I set up my coaches, my dynasty. We're rolling, man. I got to get everybody else invited, and hopefully we can get it done quick. Surprisingly enough, the actual custom roster worked, which I've heard a ton of people having issues with it. I had literally had no problems whatsoever. I'm using the downloader roster for the Xbox 360. I found it on operationsports.com forums. I usually leave the link, or at least the name, in the description. I'm using the one I use for my offline, which is Sazzy41, SAZZY41. It seems to be the most up-to-date, at least as of the time of doing this, and accurate towards the end of the 2016 season. 15-16. So that's what I went with. I couldn't find anything for the 2016-17 season yet. They're in the process of doing it. There's a ton of people working on it, but it's just not anywhere near ready at the time of recording this. So we didn't have the opportunity to do that. I would have loved to have done that, but this is the best option we got. So the rosters are going to be set up to last season in real life. But other than that, we are good to roll, man. I'm excited. Fresno State Bulldogs. Yes, sir. I got to get everybody else, like I said, everybody else invited, and get more people into the dynasty and get everybody back in. But it's gonna be cool. The next time you'll see it will probably be, well, actually I might just do all of this at once. We'll come back and I'll show you custom schedules and stuff like that, and have everybody in, and we'll be ready to roll. It'll be during the advance. But hey, for right now, we're done. I'm hoping you guys are excited for this, because I know we are. So be right back. All right, we are in the preseason. Got everything set up on my end, my recruiting board, my redshirt players, as well as my depth chart. I mean, we got people online ready to roll. Pride Leader and a new guy, Orange Goose, ready to do things. Before I get to custom schedules, I am going to throw out there that I did alter the settings a little bit. We've been doing the Patreon only Dynasty, and we're actually really far into it already. So we've adjusted those sliders as we went along, and I've also transitioned that over here. And we turned down pass interference to 90 instead of 100, just because the pass interference was getting called, or not. Well, no, it wasn't pass interference. It was face mask. Why did I turn down pass interference? We're going to turn down face mask to 56 instead, or 55, because it's getting called like when you're tackling people from behind. It's a little crazy. So turn that one down. For the custom AI, we moved the top settings over. So I'm pretty sure QB accuracy was at like 10, maybe 5. Moved it up to 15. Passing accuracy to 15. Catching to 20. Running back ability to 45. I think we had it on like 15, maybe 20. We have it on 55 on the other one, and it's about right. It's getting there. So I don't want to make it too easy for us on this end, but I don't want it to be too difficult where people aren't enjoying it. Same thing with run blocking. It's a little bit less than what we have on the Patreon Dynasty over there. I think every setting besides running back ability is 5 less. So it should translate over well. So that's what we're looking at slider-wise. Hopefully it takes into effect whenever I do the advance, so it works for everybody. But for custom schedules, I went through, and some of these guys were easy to do schedules because they play in conference. Others were not so easy. And we had a couple of requests to play each other and stuff like that. So we're going to start up at the top. Arkansas State, this is his schedule. He's got Marshall week 5, and SMU week 6, and then UL Lafayette week 9. I tried to give people games toward the end of the season, but sometimes it's just being able to schedule games was really difficult to do. So some of these teams I'm not. I gave everybody a game week 1. Nobody has a user game week 1. That way everybody has at least a chance to get a feel for their team. I mean, everybody in the MAC, their schedules were set. I didn't have to touch them. They don't they don't play anybody else other than themselves. That's just the way it is. And luckily, a lot of their games are towards the end of the season too, so that helps with scheduling and potential upsets. I mean, like look at that, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, last game of the season for the conference championship, going to be huge over there in the MAC. I'm interested to see how it plays out with what used to be West Virginia, now Eastern Michigan, with two other guys over there with them, or 3 other guys over there with them. So looking forward to it. I'm playing the Italian week 3. I wanted to play him to start the reset and see what we got going against each other. I also play UCF and Louisiana Tech. I actually scheduled this one, and it's a rivalry game, so it worked out great. He needed an extra game, and I needed one too. I had a game week 12, but the schedules didn't like end up being doable. Like UCF and SMU both had a game available, so I had to do some adjusting, or I would have had a game at week 12 instead. Louisiana Tech plays most of his towards the end of the season, week 7, week 10, and week 13. I mean, people in conference can't really do anything about that, but it's going to be interesting. Marshall has SMU, Arkansas State, and then Louisiana Tech towards the bottom. SMU has a game week 2. I've been known to give Merck week 1 games a lot, and I made sure that didn't happen this year. And his schedule is locked after week 7, so he's got back to back to back. Like I had it as another user week 4, so he had 3 users in a row. I was like, that's too much, man. So I give him 2 bye weeks because of the available roster, available schedules. Sometimes week 4 or week 5 is booked, so I got to use a different week. But he's got his 3 user games right off the start of the season, so I'm sorry, Merck. That's all I could do, man. That's all I could do. Toledo has got in-conference games, and I also try to do the games that are against the computer to be not pushover games, but not overly difficult. Like I didn't want to give anybody a number 1 or number 2 game, but I also wanted to give them a challenge, or try to be within the same area. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like Toledo or Central Michigan playing against Colorado. That doesn't make sense to me, so I didn't do it. UCF's got pretty good. We got the new guy, Orange Goose. He's got a nice start right off the bat for probably the leader for his user games. He's got 3 right there in the line. And same thing over here. Everybody's got 3 user games. I made sure it was as even as possible. And everybody got a ton of games. And I've mentioned before to the guys in the Dynasty, I have a spreadsheet rolling that's going to keep track of all the user games to see who plays who, when they played them, like Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, what week they played, who won. I probably needed to go back through and check the home and away schedules, but I tried to make it as good as possible to where you have plenty of home games for recruiting without encroaching on anybody else's schedules. So everybody's ready, dude. They're excited. I know I'm excited. They've been pumped. Once they found out about it, everybody in this dynasty thoroughly enjoyed the idea of what we're doing with the group of 5. And I know I am. I hope you guys are. We're ready to start Season 1. We're going to hit the start season button, and we'll be right back with the Season 1 update. Alright, so just got done with the advance. We're in week 1. I got Rutgers in Rutgers. Actually, it's a neutral site, so never mind. See who everybody else plays this week. Central Michigan got BYU. UCF at Mizzou. Eastern Michigan at versus FAU. Louisiana Tech at NC State. UL Lafayette, Nebraska. Toledo at Florida. Ball State versus Syracuse. Arkansas State versus North Carolina. I was going to say UNC like 3 times, but North Carolina. Marshall at Virginia Tech. SMU versus Wisconsin. And then Western Kentucky. I almost said West Virginia. Western Kentucky at Boston College. Dude. We're totally excited for this thing to start up. I hope you guys are too. We're back. We're back on schedule, back in line. Videos will be normal times, man. Mondays and Fridays. So be on the lookout for that. And hope you guys enjoyed, man. We're excited. We're pumped. Hopefully we can get through the season really quick and start building these teams up, man. That's the fun part for me, is building a team up. And I got to do that with these Bulldogs. But that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that supported me via Patreon. It's not required or anything like that. I don't really advertise it or anything, but as a special thank you for the people that have donated, this is just a little credit section that's going to run at the end of every video. So hope you guys enjoy, and thank you once again for the support. It means a lot to my family and I. Helps me continue to do this, because this is just a part-time like hobby for me. And it takes away from family time outside of my 9-to-5 job. So I appreciate it. Each and every person who watches my videos, as well as supports it, as well as the people that are supporting via Patreon, it really means a lot. So thank you.